Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to the greatest threat to your destiny. This enemy is not a person, not a government, not even your circumstances. It is closer than you think. It follows you wherever you go, speaks to you in moments of doubt, and has the power to either elevate you to greatness or trap you in mediocrity. This enemy is your uncontrolled mind. The mind is the seat of your thoughts, and your thoughts determine the course of your life. If you cannot master your mind will master you. If you do not take charge of your thoughts will take charge of your future. Your mind is like fertile ground, always ready to produce. But the question is, what are you allowing to be planted? If you allow fear, doubt, and negativity to take root, you will reap a harvest of anxiety, failure, and limitation. But if you cultivate discipline, wisdom, and vision, your life will produce purpose, clarity, and success. A man without control over his mind is like a ship without a captain, drifting aimlessly at the mercy of the waves. One day he is full of hope, the next he is drowning in despair. He begins projects but never finishes them. He dreams of success but never achieves it. Not because he lacks talent, not because he lacks opportunity, but because his thoughts have enslaved him. You cannot afford to allow your mind to run wild. You must take dominion over your thoughts. You must train your mind like an athlete trains his body, with discipline and focus. You must challenge every thought that contradicts your purpose and replace it with truth. What you meditate on becomes your reality. If you constantly think about failure, you will live in defeat. If you dwell on what you lack, you will never recognize what you already have. But if you choose to focus on solutions instead of problems, on vision instead of obstacles, on growth instead of limitation, your life will begin to reflect what you believe. You were not created to be controlled by fear. You were not designed to be ruled by emotions. You were born to master your mind, to bring every thought into alignment with your purpose. Because the moment you take control of your mind, you take control of your life. So I ask you today, who is in charge? You or your thoughts? Will you be a victim of an undisciplined mind, or will you rise and take dominion? Your destiny is too important to be left in the hands of an uncontrolled mind. Seize it, shape it, master it. Because when you win the battle of the mind, you win the battle of life. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess, yet it can also be your greatest obstacle. It has the ability to build or destroy, to create opportunities or to shut them down before they even arise. Every battle you will ever face in life, whether internal or external, begins in the mind. If you do not control your thoughts will control you. If you do not direct your mind toward purpose, it will drift aimlessly, leading you into a cycle of fear, doubt, and stagnation. The mind is like soil. Whatever you plant in it will grow. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, you will reap a harvest of anxiety, insecurity, and failure. But if you plant seeds of confidence, vision, and discipline, you will produce a life of clarity, success, and fulfillment. Many people do not fail because they lack talent or opportunity. They fail because they allow their minds to be filled with the wrong thoughts. They listen to voices that tell them they are not good enough, not smart enough, or not capable of achieving their dreams. Over time, these thoughts take root and become their reality. An uncontrolled mind leads to instability. A person who is ruled by their emotions and unchecked thoughts will always be at the mercy of circumstances. One day they are motivated and inspired, the next they are filled with self-doubt and despair. They begin projects but never complete them. They dream of success but never take action. Not because they lack potential, but because their minds are not disciplined enough to sustain focus and perseverance. The greatest wars are not fought on battlefields, they are fought in the mind. If you lose the battle within, you will struggle to win the battles outside. A disciplined mind, on the other hand, is the foundation of a successful life. When you train your mind to focus on what is true, what is possible, and what aligns with your purpose, you take control of your destiny. Instead of dwelling on past failures, you learn from them. Instead of being overwhelmed by fear, you push through it with courage. Instead of allowing negative voices to dictate your future, you choose to believe in your potential. This level of mental discipline does not happen by accident. It requires intentional effort. You must guard what you allow into your mind, choose what you focus on, and reject thoughts that contradict your purpose. Every great achievement begins in the mind. The people who change the world, the leaders who inspire nations, the individuals who rise from nothing to greatness, all of them have mastered their minds before they mastered their craft. They refuse to be controlled by fear, distractions, or negativity. They understand that the only thing standing between them and their destiny is the way they think. The mind is either your greatest enemy or your greatest ally, and the choice of which one it will be is entirely up to you. Your thoughts are the architects of your life. Every decision you make, every action you take, and every outcome you experience begins in your mind. The way you think shapes the way you perceive the world, and the way you perceive the world determines how you respond to it. If your mind is filled with negative, limiting beliefs, your life will reflect those limitations. But if you train your mind to focus on possibilities, opportunities, and growth, you will create a reality that aligns with those thoughts. Everything that exists in your life today is a direct result of the thoughts you have allowed to take root. If you constantly dwell on failure, you will subconsciously sabotage your chances of success. If you focus on lack, you will never recognize the resources and opportunities already within your reach. Thoughts are powerful because they influence emotions, and emotions influence actions. A person who believes they are destined to fail will approach life with hesitation, doubt, and fear. They will avoid challenges, resist taking risks, and settle for less than what they are capable of achieving. On the other hand, a person who believes in their potential will walk with confidence, embrace challenges, and persist even in the face of setbacks. Your thoughts also shape your relationships. If you think that people cannot be trusted, you will treat others with suspicion and distance yourself from meaningful connections. If you believe you are unworthy of love or respect, you will tolerate mistreatment and struggle to form healthy relationships. However, when you shift your mindset and see yourself as valuable, you will attract people who recognize and appreciate that value. The way you think about yourself influences how others perceive and treat you. The mind has the ability to turn imagination into reality. Every invention, every breakthrough, and every great achievement began as a thought. The world is filled with examples of people who refuse to accept their current reality as final. They allowed their minds to conceive new possibilities, and they acted on those thoughts until they became real. The person who believes they can make a difference will take action toward change, while the person who believes nothing can change will remain stuck in the same place. And what you focus on expands. If you focus on problems, they will seem bigger than they are. If you focus on solutions, opportunities will become more visible. The difference between people who succeed and those who do not is not always skill or intelligence, it is their mindset. Those who choose to see setbacks as lessons instead of failures will continue to grow. Those who focus on gratitude instead of complaints will find joy even in difficult circumstances. The mind has the power to either imprison you or set you free, and the choice is yours. If you want to change your life, change the way you think, because the reality you live in is a direct reflection of the thoughts you choose to entertain. Your mind is the control center of your life. Every choice you make, every habit you develop, and every outcome you experience is influenced by your thoughts. If you do not take control of your mind, external forces will. The world is filled with distractions, negativity, and influences that can shape your thinking if you allow them. Without discipline, the mind becomes like an untamed animal, wandering aimlessly, reacting to everything around it, and being pulled in multiple directions. A person who does not control their mind will struggle to focus, make wise decisions, and remain steadfast in their purpose. An uncontrolled mind is like a ship without a rudder, easily tossed by the waves, moving wherever the wind takes it. One moment it is filled with hope and vision, and the next it is overwhelmed by fear and doubt. Without control, emotions dictate decisions, and circumstances determine actions. This is why some people remain stuck in cycles of procrastination, bad habits, and self-doubt. They allow their thoughts to be influenced by fear, comparison, and past failures rather than by truth, purpose, and vision. The mind, when left unchecked, can magnify problems, create unnecessary anxiety, and prevent a person from stepping into their full potential. Taking control of the mind requires intentionality. It means being aware of the thoughts you entertain and deciding which ones to keep and which ones to reject. Negative thoughts will always try to creep in, but they only take root when they are nurtured. The more a person focuses on fear, the more fear controls their actions. The more someone dwells on failure, the less they will try. However, when a person chooses to direct their thoughts toward possibilities, solutions, and growth, they begin to see changes in their actions and outcomes. A disciplined mind does not allow circumstances to dictate emotions. Instead, it remains steady, focused, and anchored in truth. The key to mastering the mind is consistency. Just as a garden must be cultivated daily to prevent weeds from taking over, the mind must be guarded and guided with the right thoughts. What a person consumes mentally will shape their perspective and attitude. If they surround themselves with negative influences, their thinking will reflect that negativity. But if they feed their mind with wisdom, knowledge, and purpose-driven thoughts, they will begin to see transformation in their life. Controlling the mind also means being selective about what is allowed into it. Just as a person would not eat anything harmful to their body, they should not allow toxic thoughts to pollute their mind. The greatest battles in life are won or lost in the mind. Those who take control of their thoughts take control of their actions, and those who take control of their actions take control of their destiny. Nothing in life changes until the mind changes. The mind is either a person's greatest weapon or their greatest weakness. And the difference is determined by how well they choose to govern it. Life's greatest battles are not fought in the physical world, but in the mind. Every success, every failure, every breakthrough, and every setback begins with a thought. The mind is the battlefield where decisions are made, fears are conquered, and destinies are shaped. Those who learn to master their minds gain the ability to navigate life with confidence, clarity, and purpose, while those who lose control of their thoughts remain trapped in cycles of doubt, fear, and limitation. Winning the battle of the mind is not just about positive thinking. It is about taking charge of the thoughts that determine actions and outcomes. A mind left unchecked becomes a breeding ground for negative emotions. Fear takes root and paralyzes progress. Doubt creeps in and prevents action. Anxiety distorts reality and magnifies problems beyond their true size. Many people remain stuck in life not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they allow destructive thoughts to control their decisions. They talk themselves out of possibilities, focus on what they lack instead of what they have, and allow past failures to define their future. When a person loses control of their mind, they lose control of their direction. Winning the battle of the mind requires discipline. The mind must be trained, just like the body. A person does not develop physical strength by sitting still. They train, push themselves, and consistently work toward improvement. The same applies to mental strength. The thoughts that shape a person's life must be intentional. A strong mind is not one that never faces fear or doubt, but one that refuses to be controlled by them. Strength comes from choosing faith over fear, clarity over confusion, and purpose over distraction. It means filtering every thought and allowing only those that align with growth and progress to take root. The world is filled with external influences that seek to control the mind. Social media, negative news, toxic relationships, and personal insecurities all fight for space in a person's thoughts. If the mind is not guarded, it becomes a playground for distractions that derail progress. The battle is not won by simply avoiding negativity, but by replacing it with wisdom, truth, and vision. A person who feeds their mind with knowledge, encouragement, and purpose-driven thinking will naturally develop a mindset that attracts success. The proof of a winning mind is seen in a person's actions. When the mind is disciplined, decisions become intentional. Instead of reacting emotionally, responses are guided by wisdom. Instead of giving up in the face of challenges, there is a determination to push forward. Those who win the battle of the mind understand that setbacks are temporary, obstacles are opportunities, and challenges are necessary for growth. They refuse to let circumstances dictate their future. The difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck is not found in their background, resources, or intelligence. It is found in how they think. To win in life, one must first win in the mind.